Okay, I wanted to just go briefly talk through how to solve the Highlands craft store in Excel, and I want to talk quickly about two different ways to do this. One, as you see in the tab below, it's going to be the minimal format, and then another case I'll show in just a minute, the full format. So, as I mentioned in the last video, there's three things that you have to have. The first is I've designated two cells, and you can see here it's cell C4 and cell D4 that are going to be the cells that I'm going to use to represent the decision variables. And you'll notice there's nothing in right now. There's nothing in the bowls cell, and there's nothing in the mugs cells. The other thing I'll point out, I should have pointed out a minute ago, is that I've added all of these formats here just to help organize things, but they don't have to be. In fact, I'll go up here and we'll clear everything. You don't have to have that in here, but I wanted to add that in here just to give a little context of what's there. So, all right, so let's go. First of all, two designated cells for the bowls and mugs that are empty. In the objective function, I'm going to calculate the objective function value, and it's going to be equals, and as I mentioned in the other video, 40 times the cell for the bowls plus, and then 50 times the cell for the mugs. And that's going to calculate the objective function. And so if I produce one bowl, that's $40. If I produce one mug, that's another $50. And so I can see there that the cell is working. And of course, this function is going to be equals 40 times C4 4 plus 50 times C5. That's within that cell. Hopefully that'll be clear what's in that cell. All right, next, the clay. What I want to enter here is equals, and I don't have to enter a 1. I can enter a 1, but I want to have the bowls, because it's 1 hour for each bowl plus 2 hours times each mug. And then this cell equals 4 times how many ever bowls plus 3 times how many ever mugs. Enter. Again, that's 0 again. You'll see if I produce one bowl, it's going to take 1 hour of clay, 4 hours. If I have one mug, it's going to be 2 hours and 3 hours of labor. So again, I'll show what's in this. This is going to be equals C4 plus 2 times C5, and what's in this cell is equal 4 times C4 plus 3 times C5. Forgot to put the, okay, so that's what's in those cells. Now, I'm ready to start solving. And in order to do that, I want to go to the Data tab, click on the Data tab, and as I said, all the way to the right, you'll see this icon for Solver. Again, I'm on a Mac right now, so I'm not going to show the add-ins, but once you've done through that add-in process, you'll see this icon for Solver. I'm going to click on Solver. Oh, it's not showing. Doggone it. Solver add-in is not showing. I'm not sure how I'm going to. Okay, well, anyway. in the solver add-in, oh man, in the solver add-in under set objective, you're gonna click on the cell and choose the objective function cell. Then you're going to maximize, click maximize, a radio button. Then for the changing variable cells, you're going to go and highlight the cells that are the changing variables, and then you're going to go down to the constraints window, add the constraint. You're going to pick your actually I've got these backwards. This is the labor constraint is less than or equal to 40 hours. And add, and then the labor constraint is less than or equal to 120 hours. Okay. Make sure it's unconstrained variables are non-negative. Select simplex, and then solve. And click OK, and there's their solution. As we talked about, $1,360, 24 bowls, 8 mugs. I apologize. I thought the solver window would come up in Collaborate Ultra. It does not. I'm probably going to have to take a screenshot of that. In fact, when I get through with this, I'll take a screenshot of that and put that on a document in the lesson so you can see what that looks like. All right, I'll try one more, even though we won't be able to show that, but it'll be similar. This is what I would call a full format. And what it does is it lays out all of the parameters of the problem. And you'll see down here in these cells, it says, it gives a key. There's problem data, which is the input data. Then there are the blue cells are the decision variable cells, and the green cells are formula cells, where you would actually input the formulas that we've been using. But the process is still the same. You identify 2 empty cells for your decision variables. You're going to have 1 cell for your objective function. You're going to have 1 cell for your constraint function, each constraint function, one here, and then the yellow cells are the input values, where there's, in this case, $40 profit for the bowls, $50 profit for the mugs. The clay uses 4 hours for a bowl and 3 hours for a mug, and the labor is 1 hour and 2 hours respectively. And again, the limits are 120 pounds of clay and 40 hours of labor. Now these functions, I will see, these are going to be a little bit different because you'll see now I can use the sum product function here. And I'll make this copy so you can see that. And sum product function. Let me reduce that a little bit for that cell. And then each one of these cells also has a sum product function because I've taken the sum product of the decision variables with the respective coefficients of that constraint, and then similarly the sum product with the respective coefficients for that constraint. And if I can reproduce this, to respective sum product functions that go in each one of those green cells. Okay, So now we're again ready to solve. Go to solver. Again, you tell it where the objective function is. You will tell it it's a maximization. Tell it where the decision variables are, and then you have add your constraints as we've done before, and then solve. And again, it's going to come up with the correct solution. So hopefully that'll give you an idea. I would encourage you to go in and play with these formulas and clear it out and start with the blank spreadsheet and see if you can get this to solve. So I'm going to take some screenshots and put those up too, so you can see what those solver windows look like. Okay. Hopefully that is full. We'll keep plugging at this, but again, as always, call if you have questions.